I see a Georg over there. I will turn the camera if I can figure it out. There. So hopefully you can hear me everything. I am on a gimbal for the first time and standing for my cell phone so I can walk around. And I see chat pops up for just a split second and then I have to scroll. So I have to, yeah, no, I can see it. But now that Georg's not in front of me, you can see who's talking to you. So I'm trying to find a place to stand that isn't wet because rain. Well, there's some blue sky up there. Hey, Albert. And I saw some others. Charlotte's here as well. I'm going to go somewhere where I can. Do you want to say hi to YouTube? I get to use a phone. I finally have enough subscribers and watch time to use a phone for YouTube. Do you want to say hi? Since you're looking like a badass Viking today.
Hello, hello. Oh, there you are.
There you are. Yeah. No, they're there. You just can't see them unless I turn it around now.
Yeah.
So that's too bad for you. Haha.
Yeah.
How was it today?
Quiet.
Quiet. So it's a
Very
good time to
quiet.
visit if they want to chat up the chieftain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go then. Did you play enough for TOEFL?
Yes,
Yay.
we did.
Did you win?
I didn't play.
You didn't? Oh, I thought you said you did play. Ah,
I let them play.
You let them play?
Yeah.
Did they? Why? So somebody
Oh,
won.
well, one of them. No, they didn't want to play with me.
Aw, somebody come and play with Georg.
Yes, come and play with me.
We're getting a lot of highs.
I'll
There's-
let you win. No,
Yeah.
no, I won't let you win. You'll win. You'll win.
I can see I'm having a hard time seeing the, chat. There's the chat. Now I can see hi. We got a lot of people here. There's Dormund and Raymond or Torben, Raymond, Doro. Albert is here. Remember him from the summer?
Ah,
Raymond Roberts is all the way from Australia.
remember him?
And Charlotte's on. You remember her
Yeah,
too?
Of course I remember all of them.
And Invisible Hearts, I've been dying tomatoes. Ooh, that's a new one. I have to read that one in a minute. Garcia's here from Holland. And then there's myself spamming because I didn't know what in the hell I was doing trying to send this from a phone. But I'm learning. No, so we will. Oh, there's more.
Oh.
And Kaya, Carl's sister.
Yeah.
11 people anyway so far. So
Okay.
I got a massive following.
It's gonna be a lot.
Do you want to say hi to anyone?
Hello, everybody. Anyone, everybody.
Someone has to come and play with
Hello
the
to
chieftain.
Albert. Yeah.
He says, Torben says, give my regards to Georg. Interviewed him a bunch of times. Ah. Oh, and Nell's here as well, and so is Heidi Lisette, Runa's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Torben Stedja is his last name.
Oh,
He said he interviewed, I have no idea what he does for a living. It's Carl's friend. No. So he's like a friend-in-law now.
yeah. I can't see anybody closing down here, so.
No, but you can shut that door if you want to.
Yeah.
I'll go out the other way.
I'll go
Okay.
in.
Well, then I'll show waterfalls because we finally got them back.
Yes.
So
And now it's not gonna rain anymore
no,
for a few days.
but at least we got some rain. When I was driving over, I finally saw some. It's now the rocks are starting to get covered, but it's still the silt on the side. But it's still it was like almost dry. But look at all the water. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be about 20 of them.
Go back and we can see. Oh, there's at least 20. Yeah. I heard it's been avalanching a little bit too. It's been doing it over there by where we are.
Yeah.
That's
where
been
it
going on for a
usually-
couple weeks
where
though.
it usually does it.
Yeah.
Doesn't harm us, though.
No. And it's nice to see water in those. Those have been dried up all summer.
That's our favorite ones.
Yeah, because this one is
where the
always going.
proper avalanches come.
Yep. That's where the snow comes down and hits the fjord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank
have
you.
to pack up because I have a daughter waiting for me on the beach with her fishing rod.
Thank you for keeping us company
So-
then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Maybe we see you on Friday.
Yeah.
No, so now I can look at the chat a minute. Put a microphone back on, so if you hear scraping noises, too bad. Okay, I'll let you look at a waterfall while I read chat here. So I have to figure out how to do this as a chat like I used to do now when it's on a mobile phone. So there it was. Garcia said, more than 1,000 subscribers. Yay, I think I hit 1,016. Had an awful week otherwise. No, work-wise. Oh, oops, come back to me, the chat. I have to kind of tickle it to make it stay. Had an awful week work-wise. I'm glad to see you all again today. Well, we'll make your day a little bit better because I can finally send from the phone. And you can see much more fun stuff. Although this isn't a guided tour, we actually do sell those online if you want. We can arrange it for you via Viking Valley. And then you get Carl telling the full story and everything, and I walk around with the gimbal and throw him under the bus. It's awesome. So that's a paid service. Invisible Horse, yeah, that's what I wanted to read. I've been drying tomatoes. Oops, keep the thing up. I've been drying tomatoes and planting greens this week, starting to plan some knitting for when gardening comes to a close. I saw a lot of really cool knitting projects on Ravelry for the first time I've been on for a long time. So now all of a sudden I want to knit everything. I finally got around to posting something on Instagram, and then of course I have to put it on Ravelry at the same time. And then all of a sudden I saw lots of new things. It was the local Radiant Songdal, says Torben. I will tell him. A Silent Farmer's back. Hello from Wisconsin she's at. And Lyra's back as well. I finally am catching up a little bit on Instagram and saw her post. A lot of cool things there too. What else was I going to say? It was something very profound. Oh, yeah. So as far as gardening goes, so right now, due to, normally I live in, well, not that house, but the one behind it when I'm here. But because of corona situations, etc., I'm living in a house just underneath that avalanche over there, so you know it's safe. Carl and I are staying there, and there's a pear tree. They're about that big now. I don't know how big they get, etc. But if I keep giving them to Carl to see if he dies, if he eats it, and then I'll know if it's good enough. And right now he says they're still a little bitter. But I'm afraid that when I drove over today, there was actually snow in the road for the first time this season. So I don't know how long I can leave them on the tree due to frost. But I don't think they have any frost here yet, just massive rain. So if anyone's got any tips there. I'm not used to having to pull the scroll back up every 5 seconds, so I'll have to see. Kiwi's there. Congrats. Yay. Yeah, thank you guys so much. This is fun to send from the gimbal. I have a final place to sit now. Albert is planning to come over again soon. Yay. Little FYI, we are actually closed to Freeman and visitors from the 4th to the 7th due to a private filming event, which you'll eventually see out anyway. But other than that, we'll be open for Freeman. I think we are going to probably be closed from the 4th to tourists, with the exception of booked groups. Now, a group has to be 15 people or more, so you can always get us to open. Just send a message to salg@guas.no, which is salg@guas.no. And then you can still come and visit. We just have to plan. Because, as Georg said, the traffic is getting low. Not his decision either. Okay. But we are still going to be working. We got lots of stuff to do. We have a web shop that I have to finish putting up, and we're adding new stuff to it every day. I did put a link to it in the description. It is... I'm just showing you the whole village here now. I put up a link in the description. It's under construction, but if there's something missing there, I can easily add it to it and create a link. Right now I'm adding books. I think the silver's in there. T-shirts are up. And eventually I'll put the handcrafts up. It's so cool. You guys get to see the village properly now. Let's see, what else did I miss? How are we all? We're good. Carl's getting a little bit of a time out there. No, they're closing the village down right now, including Greg. I think Carl and Greg are going to try to stop by. But Arild is on his way here, if you guys remember the guy with the giraffe hat. And if he makes it in time, he'll tell us some stories too. He's been practicing being a replacement chieftain, or a skald actually, for when the chieftain isn't in the chieftain's hall. We need someone to man it. Then, let's see, what else am I missing here? I'm standing out in the rain until I can't. Hello, Connie. Well, it might be with the fighting group thing. Oh, yep, we are having fighters coming in here in October. That'll be fun. They've got the their own little event going. Oh, here comes the rain. There. So let's go find somewhere where the gimbal won't get wet. Everywhere I find is usually too dark, so it'll be different to see it with the phone. Where haven't we stood for? You know what? Actually, you can choose. You can tell me where to stand as long as there's a roof. I'll turn it. So if anybody has a view they haven't seen yet. Ooh! Torben says, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. Only 99,000 left for the silver reward. I think we've got this. I can get the silver reward. Dora says she's working on her first handmade shoes. Oh, cool. Got the second prototype from paper now. Haven't bought any leather yet. Pretty nervous on how it's going to work out. Funny you should mention shoes. Let's see if I can find a shade. I think we'll have to send from here. We'll look at the weapons and the anti-back. It's very Viking. This is under roof a bit. And then because I knew it was going to rain, I have a plastic bag with me. I'm not very Viking today. Let's see, just a moment. So, in my plastic bag, I have a lot of crap. I'll let you look at that stuff while I dig it out. There we are. Shoes. So do you know what this weather means I have to do now? I have to wax them. So normally we're using beeswax, but I found somebody had a really good sale on wax up in Hemsedal, so I'll have to bring that out. So these are cheater shoes, but anybody who works in Gudvangen knows that your Viking shoes are going to have leather or rubber bottoms. These rocks are an orthosite, and they cut holes in it. So there you go. It's a little cheat. Wax on, wax off. You guys are good at entertaining me today. Let's see. Thought I had the wax with me. Yes, I did. I was thinking I could play with this. So there's my project. Notice I got it for the low, low price of 10 kroner. Not complaining. But that's what I get to do, and I've got about 4 pairs of shoes. This is the only pair left that don't have holes in the bottom. So my next project then is to glue new rubber soles on them. But these are actually machine sewed, so I got them for a really good price. But again, we go through shoes like mad in Gudvangen. Let's see. If I can check the chat. It disappears so fast. I could sit in one of the houses. Maybe we could do that if it's not too dark. That's a good idea, Charlotte. I saw, oh, suddenly I forgot her name. The one that does nettles on YouTube, anyway. She's got some prehistoric shoes. She has prehistoric, not Viking, but prehistoric. Anyway, but she also had a little tutorial on shoes that looked like they would work for Viking as well, so I thought maybe I'd try them. So, another thing I can show you while I'm in light. And I got a tripod here in the way. There we go. Now, all the non-Viking stuff are out of shot, I swear. This is what I did this week. I was good. Don't know how much work I got done, but I got needle binding done. So that's a hat with yarn I dyed 2 years ago. I didn't have enough, so I had to add a little bit of this yellow on the bottom. Well, I forgot what I dyed it with, though. That's the thing. Because it went kind of brownish, though, I have, I think it might be walnut shells, but I guarantee you it was an iron pot. There was the wax. Let me just do that. Then I found green, because Alien wants light colors, and that was the lightest green I had. This one is not plant dyed, though. And then olive Hoslopi, which is not plant dyed, but it's such nice colors. Are your socks on the same level as Greg's now? Maybe. I did get a pair of socks done, but this is a cheater. For one, they're not very long. Do you want to know why I actually managed to get socks done? Because I started these in front of the tourists in 2018, I think it was. And then at the end of the season, but I found out I had to actually think. When I do things in front of the tourists, I usually do a hat until all the increases are done. This is another one I started. Until all the increases are done, and then when there's no more increases to do, then I do it in front of the tourists because I can't count and tell tourists what I'm doing at the same time. I like how they work as a bag until as you go. These ones are plant dyed with tree beard. That one as well. This is the rest of that yarn. But then I ran out, so now there's another color coming in here, which is more plain. I don't know if that shows, but it's like kind of like that. But apparently all I had left to do on the socks was to put a couple of rows on the heels and just sew the toes shut. That was it. So that's why I managed to finish a pair of socks too. So I'm just going to say I was ultra productive, but a couple of these things were already started. So, you know, Albert, I think you might end up with a pair of socks that are a little bit like the monk socks. This green, did you like, or was it the other green, Raymond, I saw? This one's kind of like an apple green, actually coming out quite true on the camera, which is good to see. But these ones I like. These are like the blacksmith colors. So these, when I dyed these, I left it twisted a bit like this in the dye pot, a little bit looser than that though, so that it would get dyed unevenly, so where it's lighter, the dye didn't hit it as much as where it's darker. Maybe like that. So this is because Aylin really, really wants light gray, and I found a light gray, but it is massively thick. It's Somnus teak ul, which means thick wool, and this is, I think this is free teeds, I'm not sure, but anyway, you can see the thickness difference. So I said I can make hats out of this. As you notice, they're all in really easy Oslo stitch because that goes fast for me. But it's going to be like massively thick, and she's super excited and says, nope, do it. Okay. At least I got a good deal on the yarn. So, let's see what else I missed chat-wise. The gimbal doesn't want to go where I want it to go. There. Sally Pointer, that's her name. Yeah, thank you, Doro. You watched your video also and have it on list. You know what? If you want to subscribe to any channel, well, that's a really good one. Obviously, subscribe to me. But no, Sally Pointer does really, really cool things with nettles, and I learned so much on that one. So I've actually been playing with nettles. I can leave this in the rain and show you. It's a little bit like that grass photo I posted not too long ago. The gimbal wants to go the other way. You think I'd be good at using a gimbal by now? Albert says, wax them and give them fat. Yep, that's what this is. You can see. I actually do have a jar of this at home that somebody gave me directly from bees. But this one, when you find it for 10 kroner, you think, I'm buying all of it. And this one says, I'm not sure what it says on there. I need better glasses. Do I have a buckthorn there? Do we have buckthorn there? We did a natural dye class, and the buckthorn berries gave a wonderful green color on wool. I do not know if we have buckthorn here, but I know we've had Liga from Latvia dyeing with buckthorn. And it was yellow when it came out, but I don't know. I think she used a copper pot anyway. And it turned orangish red when the oxygen hit it, a bit like the woad does. It was super cool, but I don't know I think she used soot as well, ash. So I have to check how she did that anyway. It's Patricia Cross, which I now know is Arlene. Hello. She says, only a couple of minutes today, no school so far. I got kids with me and I'm on my way out. Well then, we'll show you the village. Buckthorn leaves will give the yellow. Okay, yeah. I thought they used bark, but I'm not sure for that one. I'm going to have to ask her. I ended up buying that yarn from her, actually. And then I made a pair of mittens from it, and they were almost done. I even took pictures along the way as to how to do it. And that was about 2 years ago, before the pandemic. And I don't know where I put it. I see remnants of it here and there, but I have to find the actual mittens. Yep, you recognized it. It's also stitch, says Raymond. Yeah, it was the apple green you liked. Yep, I like that one too. She wanted light colors. This one I actually liked a lot more. This yellow ended up looking like gold on that. I thought that was a cool trick. Oops, sorry, my gimbal is making you sick. So I'll read some more chat and then we can look over at textile, or at the nettles I've been playing with. Let's see, what else have I missed? I know, so socks, you know. Albert, you could be the new I'll never finish them project. No, Torben, you're Norwegian. Where do you get the buckthorn around here? Because I've been wanting to try that, but I think I have to ferment the buckthorn if it's bark. and then we cook it in a soup or something. Oh, I see my door is open on my house. The chickens have been going in the houses now, which is the first time ever. A little bit irritating because they leave surprises. So on all of our walls, I should have showed when I was standing over there. No, not so much in the sheep pen, but there's usually stinging nettles growing everywhere. Pretty much everything you see back there is stinging nettles. I hear footsteps. Anyway, so here they're stripped and drying in the rain, so that's not very effective. You can see these ones were picked maybe 3 weeks ago, and these were picked last week and the week before, so they're a lot woodier. But this is all testing. So I've been doing what Sally Pointer says, and I've been beating the crap out of it and wetting them. I think these are going to have to be retted, though. I have not tried retting before, but I do understand from some other textile thing I was watching that I can literally lay them in the grass in the rain for a couple of days, and that'll ret them enough. And then it gets softer. I see an Arild. Hey, hey. I get to send with a gimbal. The camera's on you, though, now. And you have no microphone. Do you want to do a storytelling in a minute?
Yeah, I know what?
I still have 40 minutes.
Oh.
Do you want to? All you have to have is the giraffe hat and maybe some clothing, but it doesn't have, if you have the giraffe hat.
Yeah, well, everything's in the car is still. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go and get the car and get the stuff in and
Yep.
see if I can pop up some stuff.
Yeah. Arild's moving into that house. And Arild wife Sylviane. So there are Freeman this weekend. Yay! I'm going to go show him nettles in the house then. Oh, I see the wool's been sitting out. It's looking a little hard to comb. I have to move that under the roof, but it dries fast. There I have wool for washing. And I have to change the water out, but it's actually starting to look pretty clear now, so it might be getting clean. Let's see if I can lean over here without a microphone falling in the water. Yeah, no, it's starting to look clean. And that's from that sheep, the dark one. So I can pull this out of the water. Here you can see last week the pieces I've been pulling out from the inside of the nettles. But see, we can go in my house. You won't be able to see crap, but and it's a mess because I've been staying in a different house at the moment. Modern, but I can take out my nettles, which you can't really see what I'm doing. Let's see. That one. Lots of plants for plant dyeing up in here. And that's where all the wool is, the dried wool and the clean wool is sitting. But I should have some nettles that are already done. But I put them in a very smart spot. Which is a good question as to where I put them. Oh well. This one will show well enough. That's what I did. So these are all the fibers. I have to rub them like Sally Pointer does. The other one I was looking for is rubbed, but they might have been using them as a display for tourists. But I don't think I'm going to I can try to needle bind with it first. I'll make cord and needle bind, I think, with it like she did. But I don't think I want to try turning it into a cloth just yet. So that's a little bit, you can see though, there's fiber on it. A house full of wool is your dream house. That's great. Did you know that house is so full of wool that I can't sleep in it right now? No, I can. I just have to sweep it out big time because the door's open every day. Anyway, that goes back up there. Yeah. So there you go. In all these baskets, wool. So it's wool and plant dyeing, and my clothes are hanging on the wall so that it blocks the wind, so that the air doesn't flow through too well. As you can see, it's been summer, so I have to start hanging the clothes back up again. There's more of them. But that's a sneak peek inside my house. As you can see, the Vikings did not have electricity. Yeah, no, true. So this is what we say on tours anyway. So, or at least I say, because I'm a little sicker than the rest of the guys. guides, but I hang my clothes on the wall, and that helps insulate it. Also, the tapestry there, and that helps insulate it to keep it warm. And if that doesn't work, let me hang curtains over the bed area. And if that still doesn't work, you sleep on fur. I'm going to come out of the house. You sleep on fur and cover yourself with wool. And when that doesn't work, you put a Viking in bed with you. That seems to work. I have not been cold this year at all. Does anybody make baskets? We do have one person that makes baskets. She is Monica. Monica and Marcin. Marcin does pottery and she does basket weaving. I'll show you them. They look so cool up there. They are stuck in Poland right now, but we hope to have them back again soon. Otherwise, I've taken some courses, but I haven't tried. I don't know where to get. I've not tried it with fresh product. I've just tried it with products that were supplied to us, like reeds and things. Oh, I see that the French is back in the village. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? We have French and Italians and Portuguese. Yes, Creepy Street. I have been not watching chat because it doesn't stay up like it does on the computer. So Georg wanted to name the streets. We were making fun of Runa because Runa and Heidi's moving somewhere in East Norway anyway, and it seems that her address is located on Kärlighetsveien, which is Lovey Street, or the Lovers Street. It's kind of funny. So we were teasing him for that, and then Georg thought we needed signs, so he makes Lover's Lane, and I said, no, I can't have that. That's got to go on Runa and Heidi Street. And he said, okay, but you need a sign. So I said, well, I've got Carl, so we need Creepy Street. So Georg made those. And Twirl doesn't like having signs, but she allowed us to have these signs. She thought that was funny. And no, there's an exception. Okay, now I have to check up on chat here. What else did I miss? Arlene says, I have 3/4 of a sock done in York. Very time consuming. Oh gosh. Are you tightening to the needle as well, or after tightening? Because that really does take forever. That hat I posted on an Instagram is tightened to my thumb and done an F2 so that it would go a little bit faster. And it still takes forever, but it has a nice stretch to it. So it's worth it. It's sold right away. Charlotta Sabrura. That's what she said. Torben says, around Oslo and Trondheim areas, maybe in the outer parts of Sognefjord. Never seen it in Soon. Okay, well, if it's in the Oslo area, then I live about 40 minutes outside of Oslo, actually. So maybe I can find it there in Vestby. Same city that Steen lives in. Torben might know who he is. Have I replayed the linen? Oh, replenished. Yeah, nope. Well, we have some more around. This thing, every time, actually it was even fuller than this about 2 weeks ago. So you can see that Runa's already starting to show it and demonstrate it so much on this thing down here with the nails that it's becoming quite loose again, because you can see it sitting loose in there. Before it was jam-packed tight. So this linen is done soon. You can see the fibers in it though, which is quite cool. That's okay. Linen and nettles are something we have everywhere. There's the wool I spun, by the way. That one I left up for decoration. It's the different shades of sheep. And then the older whorls, or spinning wheels. Let's see, Raymond wants to move in with me, I see, because he likes my house of wool. No, I'm just kidding. Tova Hassel has baskets. Yes, she does. She's been weaving. I bought one. You bought one too, I think, too, Charlotte. I have it on my desk in the office, though. Because I've been using it quite a bit, so it doesn't get time to sit in the house. Oops, there we go. Dora says, I have a mixture of a bit of fur and a wool, and my Viking man. The Viking man is the warmest of all, even if it is as skinny as a stick and looks like a drauger. It works just fine. Keeps you very warm. Lyra says, my project room is full of wool. I'm happy about it. See, this is the funny thing now, because I've been slowly bringing it over here, the ones I can use, but that means all the bright colored wool and stuff I have at home, that it's too modern for Viking, they're filling up all my houses at home. I'll show you my fox there. Do you know what that says? Albert knows what that says. And I think one of my letters is a mix between elder and new for Thek. I did that in my teens, writes Arlene, but I need a refresher. I want to make a backpack. Oh yeah. Neverkont is what it's called in Norwegian. It's it looks like an envelope kind of backpack that's made with weaving birch bark, but not the outer layer, slightly inner layer. That is on a bucket list. That's also a red listed craft here. But that is on my, I do want one of those. So all my guests are gone. You're getting a lot of me. Haha. If I move in too, I cook and clean. You know, we need Vikings. Just gonna say, we have a lot of houses. There's this road, there's the next road behind that house, and there's one more, which is the one I came down by the boat over there. We have a lot of houses. We just need some Vikings. But you have to be a Viking. And then you can send an application to freeman@njarderheimer.com or request an application. We have an application up. It's kind of tricky, but let's see. But we do have a new one. That one asks, what role would you play? But we're not really doing role play. We don't want to, it doesn't matter what role you want to play. A wool emporium at my house as well. Yeah, okay, so raise your hand if you're a wool addict. Guilty. I'm decorating my house with wool too. And not only that, drying it in the rain too. That's not going very well. Guilty. Let's see. Keep reading the chat here. Oh, there's it. Kaya's raising her hand. Oh, good. Kaya, maybe I can dump my wool off on you. See, my mom brings over, my mom brings yarn over and dumps it here. And then I have then I get it, and then now I have to try to dump it. I got rid of all the acrylics for the most part, but I've got a lot of nice sweater thin yarn, and we could trade. Just a few on Asylum Farm, a couple of sheep's worth. I think I have about 20. I have enough to make a sail. Let's see, keep my chat up here. That's why my finger keeps coming up. I have to touch the screen to keep the chat up. It just disappears. Textiles count. Oh yeah, I got lots of fabric in there too. Yeah, it's really hard to see in that though because it's in the bedroom area on a shelf. Although I just got some baskets to put them in because, did you ever know when you like stack things on a shelf that goes like this, they all tend to start going that way and falling down? So, so I had to put a little basket in there so everything can sit in the shelf without, you know, stacking. Want to see something weird? I'll show you. This you don't see every day. I think we had it on one episode though, last year. A car in a Viking village. We didn't see anything. It's a beautiful horse you have there, Arild.
My defense, it's an old car.
If your defense, it's an old car. It probably might as well be from the Viking age. All right, I'll show you more waterfalls when I catch up again. I'm glad you guys are so chatty today. You're keeping me company. Greg, I don't know where he disappeared to.
I used to drive an old Volvo, and that is practically Viking.
Ah, an old Volvo is practically Viking. I am the Wool Queen EV. Oh yeah, you have, well, you do have an idea. Actually, I can't say you have no idea. You definitely do. Yes, it is a Volvo. Raymond Roberts is not Scandinavian of him. Let's see. Spinach gives green color and it grows in the supermarket. You know, that's the first place I started plant dyeing was the supermarket. Not in the supermarket, but with things like red cabbage that washed out, unfortunately. Blueberries wash out. Spinach did okay. Beans, what kind of beans were those? The mung beans? Those do quite well. Let's trade Siskaya. Game on. We will do it. Viking car for Arild. I will tell Greg to check Facebook, yes. So, no, Greg is closing up the shop, but, and then Carl knew that Arild was coming, so he thought, well, if Arild offered to tell a story if he made it in time. So I told Carl I might not have to girlfriend plea with him. Please come and play with me so I don't look pathetic by myself. There it says, I raid the onion bins in the store for dry skins. Oh, I do that too. That was one of the coolest tricks I saw. You don't look crazy when you do it. We know the other ones, the ones of us that use it, we know exactly what you're doing. So if you have loose weight onions, like they do with potatoes sometimes anyway, sometimes there's a bin underneath. They sit on wire racks and the bins underneath collect all the skins. And you can go in there and just fill up a fruit bag full of them and color with them. Onions do really well. That was one of the first ones. Red onions and regular onions. And then I, of course, used an iron pot and found out even onions will go green. But if you do it in a copper pot or even stainless steel, if you're not being very Viking. There's all the nettles, by the way. See how many we have? Yeah, I saw you liked the flag. I'll show you too. This is the Njardarde Viking Lag, which is the Njardarde Viking group. Their flag. If we have a couple, oh sure, it's going the other way. Let's see. If I can grab it without sounding like I have corona with asthma. Let's see. There you are. Njardar, Heidi knows this one, Heidi Liset, because Runa is on the, I think he's the council head for this group actually, styreleder. You can't get it in one shot though, it's too, unless I turn the screen. Now it's going to be mirrored though. Ta-da, now you can get the whole thing. I need a selfie stick. Social media Viking, it's hard. No, I need to embroider that one day, but there is ownership. That's all over Europe, that flag. That flag we don't sell. But we should make a flag. With we have our own Viking chieftain logo, if you've seen it. God, those look really cool, you have to see. It's so nice to see them back. That waterfall on the left was the only one pretty much left, and it's called Skjellfossen. And it's about a 198 meter drop. Well, free fall. Right now it's just blowing. You can always tell how windy it is up there by the way it's blowing. But it was so skinny. It was almost as skinny. It was about as skinny as that little one right to the right there. So it's nice to see all the waterfalls are returning. I shouldn't jump up and down when I'm holding a camera. And this one was just a little stream, but now it's got its other leg back. And that one in the middle, I think, was disappeared completely. So let's see. I'll point the camera this way and look at chat again. Albert says when he comes back, he will take some meters of wool for sale. Oh, get back, you foul temptress. No, yeah, that orange is really beautiful. That orange wool that he has. Let's see, what else did I miss here? Albert says his dad had so many onion skins in bags at home. You know what you could do, though, to actually make more room, because they end up getting so many of them? You put them in like not a blender, but a mixer. You know, no liquid or anything, and it cuts them up really, really small, and then you can fit crap loads in a jar. And then I stored them in a jar for the longest time. Should we walk down and see how the car Viking is doing? How about some gas station flags? Is that okay? We don't really like those. It says Joker. Actually, you're so good at holding the hammer still, I don't know how you do it. Superpower. It's a gimbal. I don't know if I can show. Well, it's a gimbal that does it, that kind of keeps it from wielding, but I can still move it quickly, but at least it doesn't bounce. And so Carl and I have been doing lots of online guiding since this spring. We started, I think, in March. And it's a car. No, but then I usually do the gimbal though, so that one's fine. So then we're trained to go a little slow, which means I'm doing it way faster than we're trained to do. I would lose points with Amazon. And now we're sending on Discover, in addition. You know the big onion bags, we have 6 of them full. Oh, Albert, I know what you're going to be doing in the village. I think you need to color. So I'll let you look this way so we don't get the car in the way. There's the other road I was telling you about. That road, then this road that I'm on now, and then the creepy streets one back. A Viking Valley. I see we have to close the houses for the night. Do you know what this plant is called? This one here. This grows like mad in Norway. Has leaves like that. In English, it's called lovage. Hey, hey! It's really good in stew. I don't know what a gimbal is, but it seems to be working. It is, it's like a stick, almost like a selfie stick kind of thing, but it holds, it makes the camera move smoothly so that when I move it around like this, it doesn't go shaky. But this is why I've wanted to get the subscribers up, and then all of a sudden I found I needed 4,000 watch hours, and that got screwed up. But fortunately, Torben and his wife have been binge watching for like months, so I got there. And now I can send from the phone and do this. But I do have to find a better way to get the chat, because it's hard to, I have to keep touching my screen to see it. Ah, I see Charlotte posted on Instagram the 1K thing. Thank you. Okay, Arild, I've got 20 minutes left. How you doing on time? I don't know how much time you need to tell a story, but now I'm just going to kind of make you do it when you do have time. Clay station. In German, it's called Liebstockel or Magiekraut. I want to call it, so lovage, I want to say it's Charlie. Do you know what this is called in Norwegian, Arild?
What?
This plant that everybody puts in stew and it grows everywhere?
Yeah.
Vad heter den?
Norwegian, it's called løpstikke.
Lurpstika, that's it.
Yeah. It's kind of celery in taste.
Yeah, it does. It's a little too much for me, but it's, no, you can have the whole, you can have that leaf. There you go. Dinner is served. Annie's here. I miss her sendings on, I miss her Zooms because we're open on, actually I'll be able to join them again soon, I think, in October. But they're always on Sundays when we're still open. Oops, I got to get out of the rain again. I shouldn't call the sheep when I don't have food. I think they're hiding from the rain. They've got free reign of all these yards back here. And then they go up and feed the grass. You've been watching but didn't have the sound up. Oh, and it's only me this time. I don't have anybody else telling stories and doing quizzes. And Carl wrote 10 more quiz questions, by the way, and he's writing more. We decided we couldn't spoil with you guys by doing it every time, so we'll have to do one here and there. Maggie plant in Dutch. I like that name. Did I enjoy the ride? I listened to you. Oh, did enjoy the ride. Did you enjoy the ride? I listened to you all the way across town. Now I have to say goodbye. Oh, I did. Thank you for joining me on the driving me around. I like that one. Yay! Oh, Andecker is going to be so fun. I'm looking forward to having Sundays. I think around 9th, I think, whatever that Sunday is, 10th, 9th, something like that. Then I'll be able to join in on Sundays again. There they are. They don't want to play with me. Hi. See, he's growing the wool nicely for me for next year. Both of them. Sorry, Karin, autocorrect. No, I like it. Kitty's here. Hello. We all need you around. Oh, that's nice. Well, it's always going to be me. Even if I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, I'll still be doing this because this is therapeutic for me. You guys keep me, you give me something to do every week. And kind of keeps me having a ritual. What do you want to call it? A rhythm? Dog's rhythm, a daily rhythm, or something I have to do all the time. So it's nice. It's also nice to see people actually enjoy the weird crap I do. And the fun people I hang out with. Auto-carrot strikes again. Ah, I'm glad you like watching us. So this is Grotas. I think you've seen pictures of these guys before, which means the gray one. Notice how he's gone brown. And then first he went from gray to white. He was like the light gray on that one, and then he went white, and then now he's starting to go brown. They're 4 years old now. So, yeah. And then we have Svarten, which means blackie. You see what happened there? But that one at least retained a black face and black legs. But these are old Norwegian short-tail ranrace, or the famous Gammelnorsk Speldsau. Is brown toss now. Yeah, and then we have to call that one Gråtass, I guess. They're male sheep, though. They're brothers from another mother. I noticed that one's got some more spots going. He's got like big chunks of patches of color, though, now. their horns are going to go another full rotation. They'll live to about 14 years. Oh, he's pooping for you. Want to see? Nothing but the best for you guys. Put that tail down. This is YouTube. All right, I'll leave him alone. Look at the waterfalls back. That's been missing all summer. Oh crap, I gotta get out of the rain. There. Let's see. And that's all he has to say about that. See if I can get out of the rain here some more, so the equipment doesn't get too wet. Some of this is mine, some of this belongs to Viking Valley, but they let me use it. There, out of the rain over here. So, ta-da! It's so nice to be able to send from this. Oh, did you ever figure out what that was that said that over there? The fox, what the fox said. What does the fox say? See? Turn. I don't know if these are backwards on your screen when I'm looking at the camera or if they're backwards when I'm in selfie mode. We can cover the camera and run over real quick. There. B-Y-O-M. Actually, Y or I or the E sound. Bium. It's my last name. And this is actually done in couching, which is the easiest embroidery you could do. If you look closely, you can see that the yarn is just laid on top. It's just laid and then it's tacked down with really, really thin sewing thread. That's it. It's called couching. So if you can find a tutorial and you know how to do that. I would love to say that I made that fox, but I didn't. That is a flea market find. It was originally one of those banner things, I think, that they hang outside, people hang outside their houses, and it was rolled up and had a stick through it. So I took out the sewing where the stick was, and I put my name on top in the same technique. So this I did. And I used a black thread so it really shows. But when I first got a Viking tent, it was 2014, and it's a Saxon tent, and then you go to markets and you're telling your 5-year-old kids to find a tent, a white tent in a sea of other white tents. And so What Does the Fox Say was pretty popular at the time. So I put that on the outside of my tent, and then my kids could always find out which tent was ours, because it's, What Does the Fox Say? Which, by the way, is a Norwegian group called Ylvis, 2 boys. But it made it all around the world. I remember being in the United States hearing them play What Does the Fox Say? On the radio, and I almost died, because that's like Norwegian's version of Saturday Night Live. Cha-cha-cha-chow, I like that. Now you have this song in your head. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Very Viking. Can we raise those sheep in America, or are there some laws that prevent it? I would think you can, but it's hard to get them. They are found in Iceland, Faroe Islands, and just some parts of the Western Norway, like this one. They're pretty rare, I guess. But okay, now you get the wool speech out of me. I've done this one before, but I'll tell you again. This is what makes them kind of unique. This is the reason these are so big. This is about 2/3 of a sheep. But the reason it's so big is because they've got really long hair on the outside. And I see somebody, and soft, short hair on the inside. You want to see something funny? There he is! Oh, you're looking like a half-assed Viking. I like it.
I haven't had time to get fully dressed yet.
Here, you get a microphone. I don't need to.
Oh.
We got to go out of the rain, though. No, but this will do. So you've been working on your stories. But of course, for anybody who's new, you have to tell them about that hat, because that hat is awesome. Oh, I'm joining this religion.
Oh yeah, this is.
Oops, sorry.
This is my hat for.
There.
This is, of course, my. Let's see if I get it right now. No.
Did you get it? Yeah.
Kind of.
There.
This is my bishop's hat. I am the bishop in my own religion,
Yeah.
Church of the Holy Giraffe.
There it is.
That
Oh, I
is
can't get it to go up. There it goes.
That is a religion that is totally devoted to mead, the making of and enjoying of mead.
Mead.
Yes. You don't have to. You only have to be a believer in mead.
Yeah. Mead. Yeah.
And why the Holy Giraffe, you may ask?
The holy giraffe is so
well,
awesome.
yeah, that is our
It's
holy.
embroidered too. I got to show it. We're textile
Yeah.
people here.
It's our holy animal, and why is that? Well, I figured out that as mead is so good as it goes down your throat, it gives this amazing sensation, and the giraffe has the longest throat and therefore has the ability to enjoy the mead the most.
Yeah.
So, of course, the holy giraffe with the wings and angelic wings and everything.
And the long, long neck.
And he has 3 horns because, horn make you meatier. No, mead make you hornier.
There's one other thing I got to point out for the textile geeks. What stitch is that in the middle? Do you know the name of this one? Not the blanket stitch or on the outside, but this one. Who knows what that stitch is? There's a very famous tapestry with that stitch all over it, and it's great for filling areas. And then, of course, you got to see the horny. Do you know what the name of that stitch is?
If not, you can text Magda.
I know what it is.
She's the one who made it. So, yeah.
By the way, Torben can get behind your mead religion. I knew we'd get some more people.
Yeah.
It is the Bayou tapestry stitch, that one.
Ah,
It's really quite cool. And then, of course, you is that hand woven to your blanket?
yeah,
It is so cool.
of course.
Have to show that too, because we're textile people here again. Oh, it's so cool. I need to learn how to do that. Yep, there you go. One got it. It says Bayou. There, the chat is a little bit slower than I am because of the delay. For textiles, Andrea's here. Good morning. My new job has me all kinds of tired. I slept in today. So, welcome back anyway. Okay, yeah, nope. So no Viking quiz today, but Carl's working on some, so he'll bring them next week. He only had 10 new questions. We need to do a lot better than that. But Arild wants to tell a story, and we've got time for one story,
Okay,
maybe
how
or
much
two.
time
We'll
do
see.
we have?
8 minutes, and it doesn't matter if we go over because it's my damn channel. But
8
some
minutes. Oh,
some people have
that's a
plans
bit
though.
short,
Nah.
There are so many tales about it.
Okay, then I'll shut up and you talk.
You know about the Old Norse Vikings and their gods? There are some great stories about them, like the one where a Jotun stole the hammer of Thor,
Yeah.
and he had to dress up like a bride to get it back. He was not very happy with that. You could almost say he was quite a cross-dresser.
Oh, that's so bad.
But
We have someone with the last name
I'm
Cross.
just going to tell you, there's a tale I'm here to tell
Yeah.
to the people coming to visit here.
Yeah.
It's a tale about treachery, about theft, eternal life, youth, death, about joy, mirth,
I'll just stick
about
with treachery. Ooh.
and is this adult channel? Because
Yes, it is. It does.
yeah,
If there's a
it's
kid
also
watching it, it's
about
not advertising
the
for
pulling
kids.
of balls.
Oh no, the Loki.
Yes, it's a tale about Skada.
Ah.
Yes. And
I'll turn
you,
around
you
and
want
get
the
you
whole
the other way.
story?
Yeah, we can do the whole story. Well, we got some time. There, if I get you this way, we got a better view.
Okay.
There you go. And you don't have to stand quite in the rain.
Yeah, well, I don't mind.
Yeah.
We're Viking now, aren't we?
We are. It's hard to be a Viking.
Yeah, except the mic.
Balls. You got interaction from Charlotte already. You had her at
Oh.
balls.
Yeah, well, anyways, first I get to tell you about Eden. She's the goddess of the apples.
Yay.
She has the apples. She has this amazing shrine, and she's an Åsynja, and they all have this. They are gods of plentiness. So she has the gifts of these apples. She has a shrine with one apple for each and every one of the gods, and those apples, those bring eternal life and eternal youth. So she's quite important to them.
Yeah.
That's why she's called the forever beloved. No, let's get to the story.
Okay. They like this story, by the way.
old Jotunheimen, where the trolls and the Jotuns and the giants and all those creatures live. Odin and Loke and Höne, they had been on a long, strainful journey, and they were tired and they were very, and they were hungry. Gods tend to be hungry, That's why they claim all those sacrifices, because oh, feeling a bit peckish, sacrifice me a bull now. Yeah. And then they came across this beautiful green pasture, and there was these giant bulls there, magnificent beasts. And being gods, of course, they grabbed the biggest one and killed it, because a god's got to eat. So
Well, yeah.
they killed it, prepared it, slaughtered it, and they make this cooking pit. And put it in there, you know, with hot stones and stuff. And I went, finally, we're going to get some real feast tonight. And when the time was up, they opened the cooking pit. But the meat was all raw. He must have miscalculated. Oh, well, it was a big bull. So they covered it up again and started waiting. I'm really hungry. And when they opened it, it was still raw. And they went, oh, Loki, are you up with your messes again? No, I'm hungry. I wouldn't mess with the food. Well, somebody must be. And then suddenly I noticed in a tree, a huge tree, this giant, ginormous, you might say, eagle sitting there looking at them, laughing, smirking. And you know, this was not an ordinary eagle. This was a Jutna called Chatsa in its eagle cloak. And you know, when somebody puts on a bird cloak, they turn into that bird.
Ah.
Yeah. So he said, that meat is never going to be done because I put a spell on it. And they were, you know, ready to kill him right away. But he said, but I'm hungry. So if you first let me finish, eat my share, then you can have the rest and it will be done in no time. And I went, damn those Jotnas, but you know, we're already three and one shares with one more, yeah. And all the time, if you kill another one, he would probably hex that too. So, okay, you got a deal. And he just swore down. And once he landed, he started to chug in. But you know, the instant he touched the food, it was done. It was done, and there was this nice, beautiful smell of roasted bull, and they were just feeling that smell, and they were going hungry. But you know, he was a Jotna, and he was a giant Jotna. So like 4 or 5 slashes, and it was all gone. There was just a few bones and just splinters of meat left. And Loki, he's quite a big eater himself, and he was ravished. So he was quite, you know. So he grabbed his club and swung at the Jotna eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was probably prepared for that, because the moment he swung, he grabbed it with his claws and took flight. And what do you know? Loki couldn't let go. His hands were hacked onto the club, and the Jotna flew higher and higher and higher, higher and higher, you know? And as if that wasn't bad enough, suddenly he dove down, and straight down, and soared over the tree tops, you know, like pine and spruce and everything. And Loki hang on, getting needles and everything in his mouth. Oh! And then things took a turn for the worse, because he soared even down, lower, a low rider, you may say, and just above the ground. And Loki started hitting boom, tree stumps, and boom, stones, and boom, boulders, and boom, boom, boom. And he was hanging on like a boom, boom. And suddenly he started to really worry, because he was worried that with his hand stuck on this and hitting everything with his body, his arms might come off at his shoulders. So he realized he was in real trouble now. So he started to beg, please, please, mercy, mercy. No mercy, no mercy whatsoever. Please! No. Unless he had a plan.
He had a plan?
Yeah. Unless you bring me Idun and her shrine of apples. And Loki, he was so beat up. He said, yeah, sure, whatever. You're going to bring her to me into the woods outside Oscar. I swear, he swore an all that's holy, I know, unholy, probably, knowing him. So, when they came back to Oscar, Loki went into Idun and said, hey, Idun, I noticed something strange. You know, in the woods outside Oscar, there's a tree, and it has apples, golden apples, just like yours. Is it yours? No. Well, maybe you should check it out. Maybe we can have some extra apples, in spare, just in case. You should bring your shrine so we can compare apples. That's a good idea. So they went out there into the woods, but then, the moment they hit the woods, came that Jutna eagle, Chatsa, and he grabbed her and the shrine of apples and flew off towards Trimheim, which is his castle, deep inside Jotunheim. And Loki went back inside. Oh, shit. Oops. And with her gone, the effect of the apples starting to wear off, it was noticed quite fast when the gods were sitting down and they tried to get, oh God, oh me, oh yeah, oh.
Oh, me.
Yeah, oh. But what's it? I haven't had my apple. Idun, anybody seen Idun? Idun is gone. And the moment they realized Idun was gone, a cry went up. Loki! Because whenever there's mischief and that kind of stuff going on, it's usually Loki. Yeah. And somebody phoned him, brought him in, and I started to threaten him with death and worse. They could even travel to time and bring back some nickelback or something. Whoa! So Loki, no, please. So he confessed. He told them the whole story and said, please let me redeem myself. I will do anything. If Freya, she has a falcon cloak. If you loan me your falcon cloak, I will go to Trinham and retrieve Idun myself. And the apples. Okay, you made this mess, you fix it. So he borrowed the cloak, and then a slightly geriatric eagle. No, falcon.
Geriatric eagle.
No, falcon.
Slightly.
Started flying towards Trimheim. But you can say a lot about Loki, but he tends to have quite a bit of luck. So when he got there, Chatse was gone, fishing. So he had no problem finding the tower with Idun inside and her apples, and using his magic, he magicked her into a little nut. Holding the shrine and everything, just whoops, into a little nut. So he could easily pick it up and fly off in his falcon cloak back to Oscar. Now, as I said, he has luck, but not that much luck. So not too long after, Chatse came back, and he noticed the goddess was gone. Oh, rage filled him, and like a hurricane of feathers, he threw on his eagle cloak and went.
A hurricane of feathers.
Yeah, he was big, and he was fast, and he didn't have to look around because he knew they were going straight back to Oscar. So he just went. And being in an eagle cloak, he was like the birds. So when he finally caught up with them, he started, using his beak, pecking at them, trying to pull out the tail feathers. And Loki was here, try, squeak, to avoid. I started zigzag, and flying high and low because he was smaller and more maneuverable. But this young eagle was catching more and more up to him. But fortunately, by then, they were really inside of Oscar. And the gods saw this, and I gathered all the wood shavings and sawdust in all Oscar and piled it up just behind the wall. So that when Loki came, he flew over the wall and dove straight down. And that was the signal for the gods to lit the fire. So that when Chatse came straight behind, he didn't have time to weave off, fly away. The flames soared up and engulfed him, and all his feathers were singed off.
Singed off, yeah.
Singed off, yeah. So without feathers, boom, he went to the ground like a roasted turkey. And all the gods, filled with rage of the insult of having to get old, they came at him, with axes and spears and clubs. And they killed him. They killed him quite fast.
They did, yeah?
Yeah. And so Loki cast off his cloak, bird cloak. Handed it back to Freya. Thank you for the loan. I think it's quite okay. Might be missing a few feathers here and there, but... And then, one step, and Idun was back to herself, Freda's shrine, opening, handing out apples to each and every one of the gods. And everybody thought, oh, yeah. An apple a day keeps the youth away. Yeah. And they were all seems very good until Skada. She's the daughter of Chatsa, and she is a goddess of skiing, of snow, of archery, of winter and snow and the wild mountains. And she's beautiful. She's beautiful like a snow-clad mountain in the distance. She's magnificent and she's powerful. And when she heard that her father had been killed, she was filled with rage. So she got her bow, her quivers, her axe, her knives, everything. Put on her war armor, and then she went to Asgard for revenge. No, she is actually that powerful that when she was standing there full of rage outside the gates of Asgard, even the gods were a bit intimidated. But you know, Odin, he's a wise man and he's good with his words. So he managed to persuade her to seek, instead of revenge, seek compensation.
Huh.
Yeah. And she said, okay, a man for a man. You took my father, I want a husband. I want one of the gods as a husband. And you know, in that world of gods and Asgard and all that, when a lady says she wants a husband, it's Balder. It's always Balder. He's the handsome guy. He's the pretty boy.
Isn't he vain? He might be a little vain.
Yeah. So, old Odin, he wasn't quite ready to give away his favorite son to a Jotun woman. So he said, okay, you'll have a husband, but you can't just choose freely anyone. You can just name one. We'll have every bachelor in the town, every unmarried man, lining up, and we'll cover them behind a sheet, some blankets, and you'll only see their feet. And you can choose between the feet, and the one pair of feet you choose, that god will be your husband. And she suspected a trickery, but then again, she was the goddess of hunting. You know, she was a huntress. So she was used to following footprints and finding animals in the footprints and finding a prey. So no, she just had to find the feet. So she thought, yeah, I should have a fair chance. So they lined all the bachelors up, maybe on a table like the one behind you. And they were standing with a clock behind her. And when she came up, she only saw a line of feet. And she went by and said, yeah. And then she saw a pair of feet that she thought was fairer than the others. And she thought, the fairest pair of feet, the fairest god. This one, bachelor number 5.
You have to offer him a rose, as he said.
You can have my flower. No.
Oh, there's an innuendo in there. Anyway.
No whatsoever.
You can have my flower. So he's deflowering them, basically.
Yes.
Anyhow.
Anyhow, then the cloak dropped. And it was not Balder. It was Njord, the sea god. Because he was standing, you know, in salt water all day with his feet down in the mud. And it was like a permanent spa. So his feet were smoother and nicer and cleaner than all the other gods. No. Scott might have felt a bit tricked, but you know, he's not considered a bad catch. He's also a Vana, which means he's a god of plentiness. He rules over trade and on seafarers. So all the seafaring people, they pray to him for fair winds, and fishermen pray to him for good catch and not the big waves and good weather and so. So he rules the waves and the winds of the sea, and riches and trade. So he's not a bad catch.
No.
So okay, she said, we'll try it out. So they went to a Njord's home by the sea for 9 days. Yeah, they stayed there. But you know, for a goddess from the far mountains up in the eternal snow, it was moist, it was wet, it was soaky. She felt like mildew was starting to grow on her already the second day. And you know, every single moment, there was this, oh, those seagulls. She wanted to shoot on every one of them.
Sky rats.
So that was not a place for her. She really hated it there. But so they went to her home for 9 days. But you know, for a sea god, going up to a place where everything, any water that was there was either frozen to snow or ice. And it was not his home. It was so far from the ocean as you could get. It was so high up in the highest mountains. Higher and higher. You know, but you know, and it was all cold, so cold, and so hard, so harsh. And every night, the stars came out, and the moon, and the winter wolves go, and he couldn't get to sleep, and his eyes were getting redder and redder. Oh God! So oh me! So they realized this was not a good match. So they went back to Asgard and had their marriage annulled, cancelled. But then, Skada, then she was still without compensation. She had lost her father, been tricked into choosing somebody else, and that was not working. So now she was angry about her father, and now she was really angry about being crossed. But still, she realized that she had learned that just marrying some random dude was not the way to get happy. And she wanted that. So she said, I'm gonna want a different compensation. I want you to make me laugh. And well, she was a stern lady to begin with, and with all the mishaps, this was a nigh impossible mission. But you know, Loki, he's the trickster and merrymaker of the gods. And making somebody laugh, that's just up his alley. So he goes around in the Viking god's city, and he finds the biggest billy goat, and he drags it into the town square. Come here. And he says, I'm gonna have a tug of war with this billy goat. And the passing by goes, what are you? What's Loki up to? I don't know. Let's go and see. Let's go and see. This might be fun. Yeah. So in front of Skada, he brought out this billy goat, and he took a piece of rope and onto the billy goat's beard, tied it up really well. What are you up to now? And did he tie the other end of the rope to his own beard? Nope. Hey, I'm sorry, but he tied it to his own balls.
Down there.
Yeah. Down there. Right into the crown jewels. Yeah.
I think we had Carl reenacting this a couple
and
weeks
the
ago.
gods were sort of, are you insane? And then the nerves started spreading. And the billy goat was, maybe it got a whiff or something. Maybe it got worried. So there was a lot of laughter and merrymaking. You know, when the gods are too merry around the belly goat, that's never a good sign. So he started to pull away. And Loki, I had to follow. And the belly goat, what are you doing? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I mean, the belly goat started backing off quicker, faster. And Loki had to follow because he had nothing to pull with that he wanted to pull with. And then
Wouldn't that be a bit more high-pitched?
And then the billy goat got, what?
Wouldn't that be a bit more high-pitched?
Yeah.
Okay, just...
In a while.
Oh.
Because the billy goat got really worried.
Yeah.
What does this creep want with me? So he started running. And he started to run faster. And
There you go.
And then the billy goat got really worried. So he jumped over a barrel. And Loki after jumped over the barrel. And the goat was really worried now. So he started jumping fences, barrels, anything he could find, tables. And Loki started, go! And jumping faster, and then running, and people were laughing, you know. And then finally, the billy goat, he had it enough with this craziness, this weirdo coming after me. I gotta get out of here. So he found the tallest roof, and he jumped. And Loki, poor thing, he had to try. So he jumped, but in the middle of the jump, he couldn't make it, so boom, the rope snapped. And Loki fell back on his board and poof onto his back, just in front of the feet of Skada. And he let whimpering his blue balls with a rope around. And you could see the tears streaming and his very shallow breath. And looking down at this literally fallen god, Skada could no longer contain herself. And so he broke out in a laughter. And it was big laughter. It was a healthy laughter. It was a roar. It was a laughter that shook the very walls of the town, the house, the fence. Everything was shaking with her laughter. And all the gods, they joined in and they all laughed. A long, long, good laughter. And after that, yeah, she felt compensated, you know. And Odin, seeing her in with a quite different sight now, with her being so happy, and he made her another guest.
Yeah.
So he took Chatz's 2 eyes,
Yeah.
turned them into stars, and put them on to the night sky, so that she would always have those keeping her company.
Oh.
And later she stayed in the Valhall.
Yeah.
She brought Odin a couple of sons.
Mm.
And after that, she met Ul. And he's also a god of winter, of skiing.
Of skiing, yeah.
And of oats and shields, and all those things that she values. So they married and remained married and happy.
Mm.
So what can we learn from this story?
What can we learn?
First of all, there's a word that some people think is German, but it's Norwegian. Skadefried.
Skadefried.
Yeah, you have it in German, Schadenfreude.
Aha!
That means mirth of Skade, and that
We have
is,
Germans
you know,
online.
when you relish in somebody else's misfortune. that is Skadefried.
Det är skadefried. Yeah, that is.
What else can you learn? Well, sometimes when you go through bad times, you experience real rough stuff, and you feel sad, and you feel messed up, and all the sadness and anger, that can form like a deep, hard knot in your chest, in your heart, and it hurts. But you have just below the heart, you have the belly.
Yeah.
And when you start laughing, that starts shaking.
Like a
And
bowl
that
full of jelly.
Yeah, and that shaking is perfect for loosening up that knot and make you happy.
Oh, there you go. You are getting standing ovations over here, just so you know.
So that's the story of Skada. Hope you enjoyed. Come to Viking Village and experience it yourself.
Ah, they liked it. Oh my gosh, not too bad. By the way, one person wants to see your full T-shirt, but he had to go and change a diaper.
Oh.
But he'll watch it after. There we go. It says barbecue timer. After 1 beer, it's rare. 2 beers, it's medium rare. And 3 beers, it's well done. Good job. That was pretty good. You haven't even unpacked yet, and I have you storytelling.
No, I just had to do this.
Oh, but this was good. I'm glad you could, because it's only on Fridays. But
My pleasure.
maybe we should do one. It'll have to be child friendly though for Facebook tomorrow. We can maybe. I'll talk to Toril and see if we can send a live or something. That's
well, I'll try.
We'll see. Yeah, I have to work it out. She has to approve everything. That's a boss.
Yeah.
This is my own, but that's my boss. Anyway, but I'm going to let it go because we are massive overtime. But oh my gosh, at least 16 people thought you were worth hanging around for, so which is good considering I only get about 20 or so when I'm doing.
Well, I'm honored.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go and get into real Viking stuff.
Yep. Okay, then I will say goodbye as well. Should we turn the camera around? There we go. Ta-da! Wave bye.
Ah, maybe you should have your mic back.
Oh, yeah, you can't have that. That's not mine. I borrowed it. Okay. Thank you. We'll see you next week on Friday. Friday at 6. Thanks. Click like, whatever. Bye. How do I end this on YouTube? I figured it out. Bye-bye.